One nice thing I knew about iCarly. Come on, I'm sure that's not true. What's iCarly? I'm not here. This is a birthday! Open up! You can't leave the therapy box until you and your husband make connect. You're a nightmare. You're supposed to be the adult here. You're acting. What's wrong? You got any girlfriends? I'm breaking out.
Yep.
The lights off. The lights off.
Good afternoon,
I'm there.
and I'm Wilkins, and welcome back to Education Platform. Now, before we begin with the lessons we have for you today, we are going to be reading to you a verse which is taken from Psalms 21, verse 17, and it states that, "In the Lord's hands the king's heart is a stream of water, that he channels toward all who please him. A person may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. To do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the unplowed fields of the wicked produce sin." The word of the Lord. Our second verse, which is taken from also from Proverbs 22, the sayings to the wise, from 1 to 6. And it states that from all the way from sayings number 1 all the way to number 6. Pay attention and turn your ear to the sayings of the wise,
Apply your heart to what I teach,
for it is pleasing when you keep them in your heart,
and have all of them ready on your lips.
so that your trust may be in the Lord.
I teach you today, even you.
Have I not written 30 sayings for you?
Sayings of counsel and knowledge,
Teaching you to be honest and speak the truth.
so that you bring back truthful reports.
Those you serve. Do not exploit the poor because they are poor, and do not crush the needy in court.
For the Lord will take up their case and will exact life for life.
Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person,
Do not associate with one easily angered.
or you may learn their ways or get yourself ensnared,
Do not be one who shakes hands in pledge.
or puts up security for debts.
If you lack the means to pay,
Your very bed will be snatched from under you.
do not move an ancient boundary stone set up by your ancestors.
And lastly, do you see someone skilled in their work?
They will serve before kings.
They will not serve before officials of low rank. The word of the Lord. Now, our first lesson is about the exploration of Michael Jackson, a creative journey of iconic musician's legacy. As it starts, our agenda overview, early life and formative years. Rise to stardom and solo career. Challenges and triumphs, legacy and reflections. Early life and formative years. Michael grew up in a large family deeply involved in music.
Following his early passion and skills,
His childhood in Gary, Indiana was shaped by music and discipline.
guiding his future artistic development.
Jackson's 5 early musical influences. Joining the Jackson 5. Michael joined the Jackson 5 as a young child, gaining early recognition for his outstanding musical talent.
Motown legends influenced Michael's musical style, contributing to his early development as an artist.
Gospel music roots. Gospel music shaped shaped Michael's distinctive style, deepened his emotional expression in performance. First experiences with fame and performing. In early stage, at a young age, introduced Michael to the dynamics of live audiences, stage performance, and also an early frame brought both pressure and excitement, shaping his resilience and public persona. These early experiences foster a commitment to high performance standards and continuous improvement.
Rise to stardom and solo career.
Transition from group to solo artist. Departure from group, leaving a successful group enabled the artist to pursue personal musical vision and creative freedom.
The solo career led to unprecedented innovation and success, defining a distinct musical identity.
Breakthrough albums and memorable performances.
Albums like Thriller and Bad transformed pop music with groundbreaking sounds and massive commercial success.
Electrifying performances, they set new entertainment standards with an innovative choreography and stage effects. Creative process and artistic visions. The artistry, fueled by a deep passion for storytelling, connects with emotions and creativity effectively.
Attention to detail. Meticulous attention to detail enhances the depth and quality of creative works.
Innovative approaches and pushing creative boundaries led to unique, impactful art. Challenges and triumphs. Navigating the pressures of celebrity. The intense media attention. The celebrity status often attracts constant media, also scrutiny and public interest, challenging personal boundaries.
Celebrities strive to protect their personal privacy while engaging with their fans and the public eye.
Despite external pressures, preserving creative authenticity remains a key priority for overcoming personal and professional obstacles, health challenges. Michael faced a significant health issues, yet maintained his dedication to music and performance. Professional controversies. Michael overcame public controversies while continuing to produce influential and impactful music. Perseverance and impact. Through perseverance, Michael sustained his creative output and left a lasting impact on music. Philanthropy, humanitarian efforts, commitment to charity, dedicated efforts to various charitable causes help improve lives worldwide through generous support. Promoting humanitarian messages, use Oprahminian platform to raise awareness about humanitarian issues and inspire global action. Supporting global welfare. Focus on improving global welfare through support for health, education, poverty, and can help relieve initiatives. Legacy and reflections. Influence on music, popular culture, musical innovation. Michael was revolutionized with unique styles in music, such as the styles, sounds, and production techniques that influence global music trends. Music video creativity. Michael's creative music combined storytelling and visual effects, transforming the art form. Personal reflections on life and career. Journey through art. Lessons learned. Valuable lessons gained that shape the approach to both life and artistic career. Passion and dedication. The driving passion behind a lifelong commitment to creating art and self expression. Hopes for future generations, inspiring kindness, fostering creativity, and encouraging unity. Encouraging future generations to practice kindness fosters empathy, positive community relationships. Promoting creative empowers young minds to innovate challenges uniquely. Unity among diverse groups supports collaboration towards shared dreams and positive change. In conclusion, the autobiography emphasizes key phases that shape an extraordinary artistic legacy. The subject works continues to influence global culture and entertainment industries. Worldwide Resignation highlights the lasting contributions to music and society. All right, we'll be right back after these messages. Right, and we're back. Now, our next lesson is about animal discoveries. Remarkable animal discoveries, unveiling the species and insights, exploring breakthroughs in wildlife, and research and conservation. The agenda highlights historical milestones in animal discovery, techniques and tools for discovering new animals, recent noteworthy animal discoveries, impact of animal discoveries on science and conservation, future frontiers in animal discovery. Historical milestones in animal discovery. Early classifications and first recorded discoveries, the systematic animal classification. Early naturalists use observable traits to categorize animals systematically, forming the foundation of taxonomy.
First recorded discoveries helped document Earth's biodiversity and guided further biological research and exploitation.
Role of explorers and naturalists. Discovery of new species, documentation of flora and fauna, expansion of biodiversity and understanding. Explorers refund into remote areas to discover and document previously unknown species, enhancing scientific knowledge. Documentation of flora and fauna. Naturalists ballistically recorded observations of plants and animals. Expansion of biodiversity and understanding. It's our understanding of global biodiversity and ecological relationships. Advances in taxonomy.
Standardized naming conventions. Standardized naming conventions have improved clarity in identifying and communicating about species globally.
Enhanced classification systems categorize species more accurately, facilitating better biological understanding and research. Improve species identification, advance in taxonomy, and enable more precise species identification, supporting discoveries and biodiversity studies. Techniques and tools for discovering new animals. There are many animal trapping techniques, also camera trap usage, and ecological surveys. Field researchers use trapping methods to safely capture and study animals, while camera traps help document animal presence and behavior unobtrusively. Ecological surveys systematically assess animal populations and habitat conditions with scientific data. Analysis and DNA sequencing. Genetic analysis helps distinguish species with similar physical traits, improving classification, accuracy, cryptic species discovery. DNA sequencing reveals cryptic species hidden with morphologically identical groups. Citizen science and digital technology.
Citizen science platforms empower the public to actively participate in scientific data collection and species monitoring worldwide.
Smartphone apps and digital tools facilitate real-time species discovery and environmental monitoring by non-experts. Noteworthy animal discoveries. New species found in remote habitats, such as in deep ocean discoveries, rainforest biodiversity, and mountain range. Rediscovery. Thought to be extinct animals. Rediscovery of extinct species. Certain species once thought extinct have been found alive, emphasizing natural resilience. Importance of exploration. Continuous exploration is vital to uncover hidden species and protect biodiversity.
The importance of exploration. Hidden refuges. Species can survive in secluded habitats, underscoring the need to protect these areas.
Unusual behaviors and adaptations, such as
Novel animal behavior. Researchers observe unique animal behaviors that reveal survival strategies and social interactions in ecosystems.
evolutionary adaptations, documenting and illustrating how species evolve traits to thrive in changing environments over time.
Ecological interactions. Behavioral and adaptive traits influence how species interact with their ecological communities.
Impact of animal discoveries on science and conservation. Implications of conservation efforts such as targeting conservation actions, habitat prioritization, also raising biodiversity awareness, and so on. Future frontiers in animal discovery. Emerging technologies and research areas. Environmental DNA sampling allows scientists to detect species presence by analyzing genetic material found in the environment.
AI-driven species identification. Artificial intelligence enhances species identification by analyzing data quickly and accurately, speeding up scientific discovery.
Remote sensing technology allows researchers to monitor ecosystems and detect species from a distance using satellite and drone imagery. The challenges and opportunities. There are many kinds of opportunities and challenges taking this away from it. Environmental challenges such as habitat loss and climate change that can threaten the ecosystem and also threaten biodiversity. Global collaboration. International cooperation enhances conservation efforts and resources shared for better outcomes.
Technical, technical, technological advances. New technologies accelerate research and improve conservation strategies globally.
Potential for new discoveries in unexplored regions. Unexplored deep seas. Vast deep seas areas remain uncharted, holding potential for discovering new marine species and ecosystems.
Dense jungle ecosystems. Dense jungles house diverse flora and fauna, offering opportunities for ecological discoveries and species identification.
Ecological insights. Studying these unexplored regions will provide valuable ecological insights and understanding Earth's biodiversity. In conclusion, new animal discoveries deepen our knowledge of biodiversity and the ecosystem. It's an ongoing discovery contributed to scientific research and to promote conservation efforts worldwide. It's also adopting innovative methods, exploring new frontiers will keep the journey of discovery alive. And that's the end of our second lesson that we have for you today. Now, our next lesson is about how animals survive the cold. And Derek is going to read.
Oh, How do animals survive the cold of the winter? A large. uh, When you think of winter, what comes to mind? Cold, dark, snow, ice, frost. In many regions across the country, the turn of season brings temperatures and harsh weather conditions. We may head indoors to our cozy, climate-controlled homes when the weather turns frightful. Wild animals do not have that luxury. Instead, they use a few basic strategies to survive this worst of winter. Exploring survival strategies and learn a little bit more about the animals that use them. Some animals respond to winter with a big move. Instead of toughing it out, they make an annual journey to poor tropical climates. Migratory animals sometimes travel thousands of miles by sea, land, or air to reach their winter destinations. Tiny butterflies travel all over the country to spend their winters in Mexico. And Carabao have one of the largest territory terrest- terrestrial traveling over 2,000 miles. Humpback whales swim from Alaskan waters to Mexico or Hawaii to give birth and raise their young in watertime. But not all migrations are epically long as these examples. Some animals, like ungulates and birds, can make shorter migrations to lower elevations with less snow. This type of migration is called altitudinal migration. Adaptation. Instead of heading to warmer climates or howling up for winter, some animals preserve food for versatile winter weather. These animals develop special adaptations to their bodies and behaviors to survive. What about you?
Let me tell you, speak louder.
Does your behavior change in the wintertime? Do you migrate to warmer climates? Do you cozy up at home and count days down until spring? Or do you adapt to the cooler temperature by donning winter gear and heading outdoors? However you like to spend the winter, know that spring is always just around the corner.
All right. All right. Our next article is about the ancient Egypt, the dynasties. Ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt civilization lasted for several thousand years. It spanned from 3000 BC until 30 BC, when Egypt was annexed or taken over by the Roman Empire. Many of the discoveries and practices of ancient Egypt have survived an even greater test of time. Archaeologic period, the very first dynasty, in 3100 to 2686 BC. Before the first dynasty, Egypt was in fact two lands according to folk tales. Menes, also thought to be Narmer, the first mortal king after the rules of the gods, united these two lands, but by the end of the first dynasty, there appears to have been rival claimants for the throne. Narmer, Aha, Djer, Djet, Den, Anedjeb, Sekhremet, and Qua. The second dynasty, which happened in 2890 to 2686 BC. At the end of the first dynasty, there appears to have been rival claimants for the throne.
At the end of the
Louder.
the successful claimant's Horus name had just been had been translates as peaceful in the respect of two powers. This may have been a reference to opposing gods Horus and Seth, or understanding reached between two rival factions. But the political rivalry was never fully restored, and inside the situation worsened into conflict.
The fourth pharaoh, Perisbin, took the title of Seth instead of Horus. and the last ruler of the dynasty, Kechememwe, took both titles, a Horus Seth name meaning, arise in the respect of the two powers, and the two lords are at peace in him. Towards the end of this dynasty, however, there seems to have been more disorder and possibly civil war. The third dynasty, the Old Kingdom, which happened in 2686 to 2180 BC. This period is one of the landmarks of human history.
The pyramid, the artistic masterpieces in the tombs of nobles show the martial wealth of this time. Djoser, one of the outstanding kings of Egypt, his set pyramid at Saqqara in the first large stone building and the forerunner of larger pyramids. Sennacherib 286 to 2667, Djoser 267, 2648, and Sekhmetkhet 2648 and 2640. 2637 2613.
The fourth dynasty, which happened in 2613 to 2494 BC. Egypt was able to accomplish the ambitious feat of the Giza pyramids because there had been a long period of peace and no threats of invasion, so their energies were spent in cultivating art to its highest forms. The fourth dynasty came from the Mephisis, and the fifth from the south in Elephantine. The transition from one ruling family to another appears to have been peaceful. The fifth dynasty, which happened in 2494 to 2345 BC, and when
The first two kings of the fifth dynasty were sons of a lady Kentuasus, who was a member of the fourth dynasty royal family. There was an institutionalization of officialdom, and high officials for the first time came outside the royal family. The pyramids are smaller and less solidly constructed than those of the fourth dynasty, but the carvings from the mortuary table were well preserved and of the highest quality.
the pyramids are smaller and less solidly constructed than those of the fourth dynasty, but the carvings from the mortuary temples are well preserved and of the highest quality. There are surviving papyri from this period that demonstrate well-developed methods of accounting and record keeping. They document the redistribution of goods between the royal residence, the temples, and officials. The sixth dynasty, which happened in 2345 to 2181 BC. There are many inscriptions from the sixth dynasty. These include records of trading expeditions to the south from the reigns of Pepi I. One of the most interesting is a letter written by Pepi II. The pyramid of Pepi II at southern Saqqara is the last major monument of the Old Kingdom. None of the names of kings of the short-lived seventh dynasty are known, and the eighth dynasty shows signs of and political decay. The first immediate period, 7th and 8th dynasty, which happened in 2181 to 2125 BC.
About this time, the Old Kingdom state collapsed. Egypt simultaneously suffered political failure and environmental disaster. There was famine, civil disorder, and a rise in the death rate. With the climate of Northeast Africa becoming drier, combined with low inundations of the Nile and cemeteries rapidly filling, there was not a good time for the Egyptians. The years following Pepi II are the most obscure. The only person from this era to have left an impression on posterity is a woman named Nitocris, who appears to have acted as a king. There are no contemporary records, but Herodotus wrote of her. She killed thousands of Egyptians to avenge the king, her brother, whom Cedric has killed and had forced her to succeed. She did this by constructing a huge underground chamber and then invited to the banquet all she needed to be responsible for his brother's death. When the banquet was underway, she let the river onto them through a concealed pipe. After this, fearful of revenge, she flung herself into a room filled with embers to escape her punishment.
For a time, petty warlords ruled the provinces. Then, from the city of Hecaropolis, there emerged a ruling family led by one Keti, whom for a time held to sway over the whole country. However, this was short-lived, and the country split into north, ruled from Hecaropolis, and south, ruled from Thebes. Whereas the Thebes dynasty was stable, kings succeeded one another rapidly. At Hecaropolis, there was a continual conflict between the two lands, which resolved in the 11th dynasty. The 7th and 8th dynasty, which happened in 2181 to 2125 BC. This dynasty was short-lived, and we only know the names of two kings. There were about 17 minor warlords ruling different provinces, such as Wajakara and Kaira Ibi. The 9th and 10th dynasties, which are our final dynasties that we're going to be talking about, they emerged from the city of Hecaropolis, led by Keti, who from a time ruled over the whole country. This does not last, however. Egypt slipped into north and south again. The north was ruled by Hecaropolis, and south from Thebes. Keti Merabia, Keti Wakara, Merikara, Iti, and so much more. And that's the end of all of the ancient Egypt dynasties. Now our next lesson is about plutonium. Understanding plutonium, its definition, properties, and significance. Defining plutonium, physical and chemical properties, industrial and scientific applications, environmental and ethical considerations. Defining plutonium. Origin and discovery of plutonium. The synthesis method. Plutonium was first created by uranarium atoms with d neutrons in 1940. Plutonium is a man-made element and is not found abundantly in nature. Plutonium plays a crucial role in nuclear science and technology applications. Plutonium is a dense metal with atomic number of 94, making it a heavy element in the periodic table. Radioactive nature. Plutonium is a radioactive which affects its chemical reactivity and handling precautions. Electron configuration. It's a complex electron configuration and multiple allotropes, giving plutonium unique physical and chemical properties. Naming the symbolic meaning. Element naming tradition. The element is named after celestial bodies, continuing the tradition of planetary-inspired names. The chemical symbol Pu directly reflects the element's connection to Pluto. Physical and chemical properties. The appearance and physical state. For plutonium has a silvery gray color that tarnishes rapidly when exposed to air. Plutonium exists in multiple physical phases, vary with temperature and pressure, showcasing complex behavior. Its chemical behavior and reactivity. It reacts with oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, and is also safety in handling. Due to its high reactivity, plutonium requires strict safety protocols during laboratory and industrial use. Isotopes and radioactivity. Plutonium includes several isotopes, with Pu-239 and Pu-241 being fissiled and important for nuclear use. Radioactive nature. Plutonium's radioactivity requires careful handling, storage, and safety measures to prevent hazards. Industrial and scientific applications. Role in nuclear energy and reactors. Plutonium as a nuclear fuel, it also enables controlled fission reactions. The fission of plutonium atoms releases large amounts of energy for sustainable power generation. Using plutonium enhances fuel efficiency and supports sustainable nuclear energy production. The use of it in nuclear weapons, it's a fissile property that can make it suitable for sustaining nuclear chain reactions in weapons. Plutonium is also a critical component when designing different of the many of the nuclear weapons worldwide. There are also significant global concerns related to security and international stability. Utilization in scientific research, nuclear reaction studies, material properties research, and technology development. Plutonium is essential for exploring nuclear reactions and advancing nuclear science knowledge. It's understandable unique material properties for innovative applications. Research with plutonium contributes to creating new technologies in various scientific fields. Environmental ethical considerations. Radioactivity, toxicity, strict handling protocols, and environmental protection. These are all concerns that lead to the element of plutonium. The impact on environment and public health. Environmental contamination, health risks, monitoring and remediation. Improper plutonium handling causes contamination. Exposure to plutonium causes severe health effects, and it can also increase the risk of cancer. It can also lead to risks and also protect public health. Debates over usage of regulations such as benefits of plutonium, risks and concerns, and regulations of ethics. In conclusion, plutonium exhibits complex chemical and physical properties that challenge various industrial applications, including nuclear energy and specialized manufacturing. The use of plutonium raises important ethical questions regarding safety, policy, and environmental impact. And that's the end of the meaning of plutonium. Our next lesson is about the Zhou Dynasty, the key area in ancient China. The Zhou Dynasty was a pivotal period in Chinese history known for its significant political, social, and cultural developments that shaped ancient China. Overview of the Zhou Dynasty. The historical background. Overthrowing the Shang Dynasty. It was introduced, and it was around 1046 BCE. It was also introduced in the Mandate of Heaven, concept to legitimize, rule, and control vast territories. Political structure and governance. It establishes a feudal system with regional lords. The king held supreme power and delegate authority, promoting stability and order during the dynasty's reign. Major cultural and technological achievements. The Zhou dynasties saw advances like iron tools, the development of Confucianism, and important works like the Book of Songs, deeply influencing Chinese culture. Social and economic aspects. Social hierarchy and roles was structured into classes with nobles, peasants, and artisans. The feudal system defined social roles, creating political and economic relationships. The agriculture flourished with iron plows and irrigation, surplus crops supporting population growth and urban development, strengthening the Zhou economy. The trade and external relations. The Zhou engaged in regional trade and diplomacy, expanding influence through alliances and controlled interactions with neighboring tribes and states. The Zhou dynasty laid foundations of Chinese civilization through innovations in governance, culture, and economy, shaping China's historical path. And that's the end of the Zhou dynasty. Now, our next lesson is about the Combo Lotus Tower, an architectural and cultural landmark, exploring design, culture, and its societal impact. Meeting program. The overview and significance of the Combo Lotus Tower, the architectural design and features, construction and development processes, and the role in tourism and local economy. The overview of the Combo Lotus Tower. Architectural design, the lower features an impressive height with a distinctive lotus-inspired architectural design. Multifunctional use. The building serves multiple functions, including observation decks, office spaces, and cultural areas. The symbolic meaning and cultural relevance. The tower's design is inspired by the lotus flower, symbolizing purity and spiritual awakening in many cultures. The lotus flower represents enlightenment, rebirth, and purity, enriching the tower's cultural significance. Architectural designs and features. The structure layout and engineering. Robust structural framework. The tower's framework enhance and also is designed to resist various emotional stress for long-term durability. Advanced engineering techniques. Engineering methods enhance lowers the stability and safety while maintaining an elegant design. The tower's sleek design creates an iconic presence, dominating the city's skyline. Unique elements. Petal-shaped facets inspired by lotus petals create visually striking buildings combining nature and design. Curving lines and design. A natural flow of aesthetic appeal and function. Interior and exterior design highlights. Comfortable interior design. Spaces are to design, maximize comfort, and inspire occupants by thoughtful layout and aesthetics. Creating a striking presence during nighttime hours. Adds natural beauty, complements in its architectural design. Construction and development process. Planning and project timeline. Design phase, approvals and permits. Groundwork phase, and final construction. The project began with a comprehensive design phase to establish detailed plans and blueprints. Securing necessary approvals and permits was essential to proceed with the construction legally and safely. The groundwork involves site preparation and foundation, which is very critical for structural stability. The final construction phase completed the tower with quality checks and ensured precision and durability. Materials and sustainable practices. Sustainable materials and the use of renewable and recycled materials reduces environmental impact in construction projects. Energy efficient technologies of energy-saving technologies enhances efficiency and lowers energy consumption. Combining the materials and technologies and ecological footprints promotes longevity and so on. Key challenges and solutions. Engineering complexities. The complex engineering problems were addressed using innovative solutions and advanced technical knowledge. Unpredictable weather conditions required adaptable strategies. It's also close of collaboration among specialists helped to overcome logistical difficulties effectively. The role in tourism and local economy. The attractions and amenities for visitors. They experience breathtaking panoramic views from spacious observation. Restaurants in the tower offer diverse dining experiences with scenic surroundings. The tower hosts cultural exhibitions and events that engage visitor and showcase traditions. Economic impact on surrounding areas, such as job creation, which was created numerous job opportunities for local residents. Increased activity around the tower has enhanced business for local shops and markets. The tower has attracted investors, fostering further economic difficulties in the community. Promotion of cultural events and festivals, symbolic venue representing the cultural heritage identity during festivals. It also encourages community participation and strengthens social ties. It elevates the city's cultural profile and attraction to visitors. In conclusion, the Combo Lotus Tower exemplifies cutting-edge architectural design, also a blend of tradition and modernity. It also contributes significantly to tourism and the economy as a prominent landmark attraction. And that's the end of all the lessons that I have for you today. And I'm also going to be doing a recap on the verses that we had for you today. The first verse was Proverbs chapter 21, verse 17, and it states that in the Lord's hands, the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels towards all who please him. What is it trying to say is that the Lord's heart is spread across from every man and woman that lives in society. The Lord does his best to make sure that everyone stays connected to him, no matter where they are. And when it says, the Lord weighs the heart to do what is right and just, it means the Lord passes judgment of whether or not what you're doing is right or wrong, depending on what your heart is trying to say. And also, in Proverbs 22, from the sayings from 1 to 6, it says, "Pay attention and turn your ear to the sayings of the wise. Apply your heart to what I teach." The first saying is that you need to pay attention and turn your ear. Make sure that you listen to what God is saying. In Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1 to 6, from the sayings of the wise. In saying number 2, it says, "Don't exploit the poor because they are poor, and do not crush the needy in court." What it's saying is that don't treat poor people badly, or you'll pay the consequences in the future. But instead, treat others fairly, and not just fairly, but also treat them as family, as your spiritual family. And that is what God is expecting us to do. Now, before I go, I'd like to share with you a poem written by Wilkins Finless. And it states that, "For God is strong and never weak. We are always given the chance to speak. For God, he is in control. Never think you can't reach your goal. In God, he does his very best, but never take it to the test. God is your part that will always be in your heart." Amen. Now, before I go, make sure to share this with your friends or the people that you know and don't know, and always stay connected to Education Platform. We are everywhere on social media. Make sure to join us on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, join us on Facebook you can locate us by typing in the username at Education Platform FB. And also, you can join us on X. You can also scan the barcode, and the username will pop up at Platform68367. And lastly, you can join us on Instagram. You can scan the barcode, and our username will pop up at Education Platform 1. Now, before I end today's live stream, I'd like to give some advice. Don't let fear stop you from what you want to accomplish. You have the determination and perseverance to do anything as long as you have God by your side. There's nothing you can't do as long as you have God. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.